for his team. And, they're creeping back up, getting towards that 500, 18 and 20 right now, getting back up over, close to the 500, get even in terms of games. And so, like I said earlier, the one thing that I was really wanting to look at tonight was how his return was going to have an effect on Peter Dinwiddie. They didn't really, Spencer Dinwiddie, they didn't need his production tonight. They were able to handle the Hawks pretty handily. But I want to see that going forward, how it has an effect, because a guy that has been carrying the team in Kyrie's absence, does he willingly just take a step back? How does he handle Kyrie, whose usage is going to be really high and he's going to have the ball in his hand? I want to see how he's going to handle that going forward.
Yeah, Dinwiddie had 8 assists, so maybe they'll find some sort of balance there where they can play. And I'm really hoping that he does well. Kyrie Irving, I've met him a few times with my relationship with a lot of people I have in Boston and stuff. Nice kid. He's just got to be able to take a team, get them to believe in him as their leader, get them to follow him, make everybody better on the floor along with him, and say, man, let's go on this little magical ride together. Let's go out and win. Let's make this be really, really fun. Because like you said, Brian, he makes so many tough shots. Like we're laughing about it, but just that little underhanded giant killer. But he releases it here, and you have to have so much confidence when a guy's coming at you to get the ball. Like everybody else shoots those floaters here. He just he's not going to get that, and throws it up, barely gets over his fingertips. He's really extremely talented. I want him to take the next step as far as being the leader of men and being a guy that gels a team together. Even if you're not a leader, you just say that's not. But you don't have to say a lot to gel a team together. Your actions speak a lot louder than your words. And I just want to see him have really good success here, because it didn't end well.
No.
In the last couple of places, and I'm pulling for him because he seems like the little bit of time I spent with him, he seems like a genuinely nice young man.
Lenny addressed his time in Boston a little bit and said he wasn't a great leader, wasn't a great teammate there. Yeah. What does that look like for you? If he's going to be the leader, and again, this is all setting up next season when Durant is back and they think they can be a contender, but what does that leadership look like to you over the rest of this season?
Well, I just think he's won a championship, so these guys are starving to win in Brooklyn. It's getting on the bus or getting on the plane and sitting next to Brian and saying, "Hey, Brian, in that situation in the third quarter, we were coming down. You really got," and helping people get feeling more comfortable on the floor and saying, that play that we made, that's not going to get it in Game 7. I'm just telling you right now, we have to have better spacing, but helping them get better with everything you do, and kind of just losing yourself in the team, and it can't be about you. And I found with a lot of these young guys that come in today's game, a lot of it's about them first. And then they kind of say, okay, I've kind of got mine. I've got my contract.
I was going to say, even now he's got a title. He's got the big contract.
Right.
We should be past that, right?
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. So then it's got to be about the we factor, not the me factor. And once you do that, and once you really enjoy helping guys going up, and even if it's having a start conversation, saying, Brian, you can be a really good defender, but tonight took too many chances, you gambled, whatever. And so when guys leave your little sphere of talking to them, they think, man, that dude's pulling for me. That dude's trying. He may not always compliment me, but he's trying to make me a better basketball player. And that's all a player wants from a coach, and management, a teammate. They want people to support them to make them better, because this is their profession.
That's right.
All right, more coming up here on Game Time. 2 more games left in presently constructed.
They can.
They can. That is the statement. It says it right there.
Okay.
The Lakers can win a title as presently constructed. Would you like to challenge that statement?
No.
Think that you put those two guys together, LeBron and AD, some of the shooting that they have around each other, and if they stay healthy and everything goes right, they have as good a chance as anybody out there.
They have as good a chance as anybody, because it's one of those years. But I would say that Kuzma's not good enough as your third option guy to win a championship.
Sounds like you're thinking about challenge.
No, but I tell you what, every team has flaws this year. There's no Golden State out there that you go, man, no, they need to improve. They could do it with just on the force of AD and LeBron. But for them to make a long run, I think they got to improve. That third option guy's got to be better. He's got to be more consistent. He's got to be a guy that you can count on. every single night to bring you something.
So you'd like to see them improve.
I would.
But you think this team could win a championship,
Look at,
and thus no challenge.
The coaches only win 45% of the challenge. Brian and I are saving ours, okay? Come on.
You know what? That's probably a good strategy.
Right.
And again, so far, no need for the green prop light that we don't have. Number 3, Zion Williamson should sit the rest of the season.
Challenge. Throw the right.
I challenged
What we got?
We got a sound effect.
I heard something.
There it is.
Oh, there it is right there. I was wishing we had one. We almost had one of those, but the NBA said you're not worthy of having a green light.
The production quality on this
No,
segment
the powers
is
that be
fantastic.
at the NBA said you guys aren't worthy of having a green light.
I don't know about that conversation.
That's what happened.
Really?
Yes, it did.
Okay. So
Okay.
why would you like to challenge that?
Because he needs to get a feel for this league. He's a young kid. He needs to play. He needs to feel the strength of the league, the speed of the league. Things change so much when you get into the pros. Your windows, he's a very good passer. Your windows for passing are much smaller. What you think is a window when it was in college is not there as a pro. He has so much learning to do, and I love the kid. If he's healthy, he needs to play. If he's not healthy, of course. But saying he's healthy and not playing this year is idiotic. At 19, you just can't take a year off of your profession and think you're going to be better somehow miraculously. I don't know how that works.
And I concur.
You also challenged.
I challenged.
You threw the flag up, though.
I did.
threw a
The
pen.
challenge
Yeah.
pin.
Okay, challenge pin. I like that. Yeah.
And the reason being, one, along your point, he does need to learn the league, the speed of the game, and all of that stuff. You don't know exactly what you have. If he's healthy, he should get out there and play. And it's different than like a Klay Thompson or Steph Curry on the Warriors, who you know what you have in them. They've already been there. They've done that.
Sure.
They've won
Yeah.
championships.
Probably could use the rest.
Right.
Yeah.
And where their team is right now, there's no need of those guys trying to rush back and play. And if they don't play, it's not such a big deal. But with this team, you don't know what you have as a team, not just in Zion, but in a team with how he fits in with Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and the guys that they have. And so if he's able to play right now, especially going into the before the trade deadline, there were rumors earlier about they were possibly shopping or listening to offers for Drew Holiday. Mm-hmm. Before you do anything like that, how about let's just see what this team is when they're all out there on the floor together?
Yeah, when you commit to build around a guy like they have around him, you got to find all your pieces, how they fit and how they don't fit. Mm-hmm. And the ones that don't fit, you got to get rid of them. Because this is your horse, and you got to put people in there that complement him.
I agree with everything you all said. I don't have a challenge here because
Okay.
I'm not a coach, but I agree with everything you said. But I'll believe it when I see it.
Well,
As far as Zion is concerned.
really?
Yeah. I'll believe it when I see him on the floor. Until then, I don't know. We've seen enough players sit out full seasons in the last 10 years to.
So you're saying he's like a Bigfoot. You hear about him a lot, but you never really see
Yeah,
him?
he's Sasquatch.
Okay, well, okay, there we go. Then. All right, well, I was kind of looking forward to watching him play. No, I'm just going to be disappointed.
I hope to
I
see
might as well
him
go
play.
sit in the woods and look at a tree.
I hope to see him
I
play.
spent a lot of time in the woods. I've never seen a damn Sasquatch yet.
No,
never.
haven't seen it.
Footprint, nothing.
Nothing.
And where I come from, Missouri, they call him Momo.
Oh,
Missouri
Momo.
Monster.
Ooh.
Missouri Monster.
Okay.
Yeah. Haven't seen one of those either.
No.
Number 4.
Oh,
Trae
more.
Young should be an all-star starter regardless of the Hawks' record.
Starter.
Give me the light. Yes.
So I just turned the sound effect. There's the
There's the light. I'm glad we got the light. Again, as I said, we're not worthy of a light. But no, you can't be a starter when your team is 8-31.
That's what the voting is right now. Now, 50% of the voting doesn't come into play until the players and the media vote. But
Right.
the fans have him in as a starter.
Well, who are
I'm
some
out.
of the other guards in the East that he's competing against?
Kemba Walker.
Okay. I mean, I didn't throw a challenge.
You didn't throw a challenge. I
on
saw
that
that.
one, only because where he is scoring the ball, he's assisting as well, and they've had one of their second best player in John Collins missed 25 games. And so he basically was the guy that they had out there. He's a lot of times the All-Star game comes down to popularity. I think that he's somebody that regular people that are regular size can relate to.
People like me.
People like
Regular
yourself.
people.
Regular size people. But I think that he's taken a big step, and I don't think it's fair to expect for his team to have made this great leap when they don't have the necessary parts to help make that leap along with him.
So
being a Giant person, I don't like his game. And I like his game, but he can't be in the All-Star game.
He can't be in the All-Star game at all.
No, you at 8-31, you can't be in there. You got to put somebody else in there. Winning is a big part of this league, and if we water down winning anymore with numbers, it'll drive me absolutely crazy. I like his game. Eventually, he'll probably get there, but as a Giant person, I'm saying
As
no.
a Giant person, you say no. I'm really torn on this one because it's really hard for me to argue that any team that is in last place in its conference has an all-star on it.
Well, that's the worst record in the league.
Right.
Yeah.
Golden State's not trying, and they have one more win.
But I think if you take whatever guards that are ahead of him in the East and you put them in his situation on the Hawks and you put him in Boston instead of Kemba Walker, I think he still does the same thing that he's doing, and I think that Kemba Walker on the Hawks is scoring a lot of points. And they're not winning either.
I'll tell you one thing. Honestly, this is real talk. Ready? You put him on Boston right now with the way Boston's assembled. It's last year all over again with Kyrie Irving. I think he's looking for his stuff too much. He's trying to get his at the expense of the team. And I tell you what, Kemba Walker is giving up shots. He's trying to play the right way. He's doing stuff. I just don't think, at his age that that he fits there. So I don't think. So like I say, I just think I would put anybody from the winning team's point guard over him.
Well, I don't think that there's a ton of choices.
Well, that's the other thing. A lot of the guards that you would think of normally in the East have been hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
Bradley Beal's been out. I mean, his team is not doing well. John Wall has been an all-star in the East,
right?
For a few years. He's out. But other than that, there's no names that really, especially at that point guard position, that really jump out at me.
Ben Simmons, who you don't think should be the point guard in Philadelphia.
I think that not that he shouldn't be the point guard, but I think that he should.
See, I'm doing what McHale does.
He needs another point guard, a traditional point guard, to go along with him. But I also think in Trae Young, the difference between him and Kyrie Irving is he's a much more willing passer than Kyrie is, and I do think that he makes the players that he has around him better. They're just not good enough yet. So even when he makes them better, that's still not good enough.
Okay. That's a fair argument. And you know what? I don't get to grant you the challenge, say it's correct or not. I don't have that power. It's not vested in me. I think the segment was...
Which is why they should do away with the challenge.